Let's go live to our correspondent and host of First Edition, Pete Stefanovic. He is in America for us at the moment. Pete, it is a really interesting point in America right now. In the name of Charlie Kirk, at least at the moment, Trump seems to be wanting to muzzle free speech.
Well, he does have a point in that most of the entertainment industry is left-leaning and constantly having a go at the Trump administration. That's nothing new, though. That has been happening for some time, so it's got to a point where he's clearly been frustrated by that. But, I mean, this is now a battle over the First Amendment, which is something that obviously America holds dear, and I've been talking to a few people here about that today. And those folks who are arguing for Jimmy Kimmel are saying, well, doesn't he have the right to say what he wants? And the folks that I've been talking to here say, well, yes, he does, but also freedom of speech also has consequences, and the consequences are coming from those who are higher above him now. So that's the dynamics that are at play here at the moment, Laura, and I put this to a former friend of Charlie Kirk and someone who is also a Donald Trump advisor, Alex Bruitsky, who I spoke to on the program a little bit earlier, and here's part of what he had to say when I put those statements to him.
Out of his comments, what was supposed to be the punchline? What was supposed to be the humorous part? He just straight up lied about Charlie Kirk. He said Charlie Kirk's assassin was a MAGA guy. He wasn't a MAGA guy. He was a far leftist who was in love with transgender people. It was a total lefty. He was a foot soldier of the Democrat Party, and he just killed my friend. Jimmy knew that, but he said the other thing anyway. And so he got held accountable. And this isn't cancel culture. This is called consequence culture. It isn't censorship. It's accountability. And so, I'm so, outraged that he's not pretending to be the victim here.
My correction on that, Alex Brasuski, muddled it up again, Brasuitz. I'll get that right for you, Laura. So, I mean, it's important to remember the backdrop to all of this, because this debate right now, which is happening, comes at a time when America is divided, and you've got a lot of people who are still in shock. They're still in mourning over what happened 8 days ago, and all day we've been seeing a steady stream of folks come down here, and they've been laying flowers and they've been saying their prayers and giving their tributes to Charlie Kirk, and I managed to speak to a few people to see what was on their mind, and here's part of what they had to tell me.
I don't know what country this is I'm living in right now, How do you do this to a father and a husband and a man of God? I mean, it just really breaks my heart.
There's a lot of people who bash Charlie and want to make up the stories about what Charlie is. They don't know him. They never did. Charlie was very respectful with everybody. He wanted conversations. He wanted to show that there is possible for peace within everybody.
It's touching. I don't know of anyone since JFK, Martin Luther King, RFK Jr. I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. Well, I was little when JFK died, but this is so moving. It's given me so much courage.
And so while on one part you've got folks who are mourning Charlie Kirk for what was, but you've got others who are also mourning what Charlie Kirk could have been, including the US President Donald Trump today, who was asked about that very point, and he went on to say that they had discussions in the past about a possible presidential run in the future.
Just last week, a great American, Charlie Kirk, was heinously assassinated for speaking his mind. He was a great young man, incredible future. Some people said he might be president someday. I told him, I said, Charlie, I think you have a good shot someday at being president.
And from the very top down to a lower level, here in Arizona, a state senator shared his similar thoughts too. Jake Hoffman's his name. He was a friend of Charlie Kirk's for 10 plus years, and continuing to mourn the loss of not just him as a person and a friend, but as someone who would have been a big political player moving forward.
There's an old axiom that if you slay a tyrant, his reign ends, but if you slay a martyr, his reign just begins. And what we're seeing with these organic outpourings of support, honors, and tributes to his life and legacy all over the world, from South Korea to London and all across this country, is that you're going to see a great reawakening in American politics. Because what Charlie did is he spoke truth, he spoke it lovingly, and he put Jesus first.
Yeah, and further to that, Laura, Joel Jamal, we had on the program a little bit earlier this morning too. He heads up the Australian chapter, if you like, of Turning Point. And there has been this huge increase in the number of people who are joining up to Turning Point and listening to what Turning Point has to say. And Joel was telling us that even the Australian numbers are starting to increase, those who are subscribing to Turning Point Australia. I wasn't aware that there was actually a chapter in Australia, but there is, and it's becoming even more popular. So that will probably build too in the days and weeks ahead, but in particular the days ahead as we get closer to that public memorial that's taking place here in Phoenix on early Monday morning Australian time.
Absolutely, Pete, and you'll be there. Thank you for your time this morning.